I'm going to talk to a client David and I have been consulting with in recent times, and we're catching up with him at a really interesting time for him. That is just before he launches his first online business. David Broughton has run several offline businesses in the beauty and the tourism space, and in a matter of days will be launching a new online social network for pets and pet lovers called My Pet 247. Welcome today, David.
Hello, Fiona. Thank you.
Firstly, you've got several offline businesses under your belt. What is it that's got you motivated to try an online business, and then how come an online social network?
Okay. With the offline business, as everyone knows, it's extremely hard to reach a mass audience, obviously, unless you're dealing with big budgets and a big new idea. And I just saw the idea of being able to reach a large audience and something that I could possibly scale, if it was to happen, would be, something I'd be interested in.
Tell me about the journey so far. What have been the ups and downs for you?
Okay. Having never ventured into the IT world before, other than a basic website for the business, it's been very interesting. Offline, I know what I'm touching and feeling. In the virtual world, it's very hard for me to get a grasp of what's real and not real, and to know exactly where we're heading.
What is the business that you run now, and are some of the things that you do in the management and running and decision making of that transfer across to an offline model?
Okay. At the moment, I'm still involved in the tourist sector, so it's very bricks and mortar. That's why the venture into IT is a little bit different for me. In terms of management, I guess it's still reasonably the same, in the sense that a business always has to make money, or its end goal is to make a profit. So in that sense, it's you can transfer some ideas across, but I'm dealing with a whole new world for me, a whole new concept. So it's very interesting, exciting. So yeah.
Could you tell me one thing that is new for you? That's a new skill.
Trying to translate the jargon for a start.
Yeah.
That's what dealing with a lot of people when they're speaking in a language technical terms that they assume that I understand. So that's been good, and just the whole process of start to finish with particularly with a social or community networking website. It's a lot bigger than, say, a standard 2 or 3 page.
Brochure.
Correct. Yeah.
When you started My Pet 247, it would have been a side project to your tourism business, and I'm just wondering, because you had a main business at the time, what were your expectations for it back then?
We started 3 years ago, and back then I just hoped that we'd get it finished and get it up, in a short space of time, and that the community would accept it. I didn't, and I still don't, have any grand visions or anything like that. It's just a day by day, and I just want to put out a good product that would benefit the people in the pet community.
Okay. Yeah. So, if that's the case, have those expectations changed at all across the 3 years? Because you're really deep into it now. Launch is imminent, and you're 3 years in. Have those expectations changed? Yes,
it's. I equate it to a bit like, once again back to the bricks and mortar module. I started off building a 1-bedroom unit. As it's turned out, in my opinion, we're now building, a 30-storey apartment building. So the expectations of what I can offer, or what the community website can offer, have obviously grown exponentially. At the start, it was just going to be a place where people would come and feel comfortable on a very basic level, because that was my thinking then of what I could do in the development. But 3 years on, the idea is still there to provide a nice community feeling, but the services and the space is going to be a lot larger for people. So hopefully they accept that.
Just tell me about yourself. Are you a pet lover, or is this just a cynical gap in the market that you've identified and you think that you're going to make a zillion out of it?
Yeah, no. I have two small dogs who are more part of the family, children, you might even say. So it's certainly not just a money-making exercise or something like that. The idea spawned from my dogs, Penny and Mate. So that's where it really grew and came from. I couldn't find a space that provided me everything that I would like to access as a pet owner, and therefore I started looking into developing it myself.
Mm.
Yeah.
Lots of people say that the best businesses come out of your own need that you've identified. Are you hoping that this gets big because a lot of other people have that need?
Yeah, I do. I think, you know, the industry as a whole, like the pet industry, and pet ownership is obviously something that's growing at, you know, quite a steady rate. And I feel that I've built the space to provide features and facilities that I would want, and also obviously asking and doing research what other people would like, without the focus or the drive being to put it out there to make money. Like, you know, you're not going to see heaps of ads and all this type of thing all the time in your face. You're going to, you know, obviously see content and features, and any feedback we're getting from the members, you know, we'll try our hardest to implement as quickly as possible. So
you're saying it'll be more content heavy than ad heavy on the My Pet site? Correct.
I mean, as with all business, you know, there will have to be a certain amount of advertising, but it's not going to be in your face. It's not going to be the driver of the site. We feel the success will come from the joy and the repeat business we get from the community, in the sense of logging on and actually creating activity and a bit of buzz in the site.
You've run other businesses, so I would think that you've scoped your competition relatively comprehensively. What differences will, let's say, a member who's joining My Pet 247 have compared to, say, one of your competitors, Dogster, which has been around for quite some time?
Sure. The difference that I found that we may be able to provide that some of the competitors don't, is that our site caters for all pet types. That in itself isn't unique. There are other sites out there that do that. However, being a dog owner, or if we have a member who, you know, specifically wants to view only one type of pet type, we have a feature called Pet Choice, which we invented, you might say, and that allows you to customise the site. So you could select that maybe you just want to view dog and cat content, and essentially the site then just becomes a dog and cat site from your viewpoint. So that was one feature. I couldn't really find a site that allowed me to do that.
Can you have all pet choices? I mean, is that an option?
Correct. To start with, just because of from a programming point of view, we have 4 main categories: dogs, cats, fish and birds. If you have a pet that falls in one or the other, not in those categories, we have other pet types. And once we get a significant amount of members, we will then also add those in as well.
Several hundred crocodiles means that crocodiles will get a category.
Well, let's hope it may happen, who knows.
And David, I was just wondering, because you did mention that technology is not your background, but you've had to manage basically a really big technology project. My Pet 247 is, you know, a full social networking website. Tell me a bit about that. That's a really new skill set, isn't it? The project management of a big technology project.
It certainly is, because you're starting off a zero base, you might say. I was actually thinking maybe less than zero, if that's possible, in the sense I had, it wasn't my background in terms of study. It's not a business myself or any of my friends had been in before. I had 0 contacts to start with. So with that, you're going to run into a few issues and headaches along the way. But I've found that even whilst at the time some of those brick walls I ran into seemed, you know, unclimbable, overall they've probably actually helped the process and also my learning of the industry. So would I take back some of those mistakes that I may have made? I probably wouldn't actually, because they've got me to where I am today.
Because all learning has a cost, doesn't it?
It does,
to get there.
Yeah.
Look, your launch is imminent, so congratulations on sticking with it for 3 years, and good luck going forward beyond that, David. Thanks for your time today.
Thanks, Fiona.
And I've been speaking with David Broughton, who is about to launch his first online venture after doing several offline ventures, and it's called My Pet 247. It's an online social network for pets and pet lovers. Stay tuned because it'll launch soon.